FCO, NTDO 212, com check.
DPS, go. Inco, go. PUS, go. Surgeon, go. Booster, go. Copy that. We have a go from you guys.
This is Talking Sound.
It's only rock and roll. Only rock and roll.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome once again to the Talking Sound Podcast, the only podcast on the internet where negative 10 is a number to be desired. Coming at you live from the throbbing heart of rock and roll that is Austin, Texas. Today in the studio, we have the centers of attention. Well, at least 3/4 of the centers of attention. We're lacking bassists today, but we have Rusty Brown, Steve Sweat, and Stephen Bishop, the bassists of the centers of attention. How you guys doing today?
Great.
The bassist without the bassist?
The bassist without the bassist. That is
Nice.
correct.
Nice.
So, how have things been? You guys have made a lot of advancements. Stephen's just recently entered the band. How's that been going for you?
Man, it's awesome. It's going so smooth. You know, it's just a lot of leeway on creativity. The band's great. I can't really picture much better guys to be with, really.
Nice. Fantastic.
I paid him to say that.
Okay. Well, as long as somebody's getting paid in the band,
Yeah,
Rusty,
yeah.
that's the important thing. But, I mean, you guys have actually been making a lot of progress. It's been a couple months now, and y'all are getting ready to get into the studio here fairly soon. Is that right?
That is correct.
Trying to record a few numbers.
Nice. How many are y'all looking at? What kind of, are you looking at like a EP, a demo disc, or what's the plan, if y'all don't mind divulging anything?
Probably mostly a demo, but we'll see how it turns out. You hate to count your chickens before you get your chickens.
Yeah, true that, absolutely.
But you know, if it comes out as good as we'd hope it will, then we'll probably be trying to put out some CDs and some MP3s for the kids. You know.
Nice. Heck yeah. Well, and we've had Rusty on the show before. How have things been going with the solo stuff and everything else as far as playing out and all that kind of stuff?
Been going real good. Been working on a lot of new songs. Got a new guitar, and it's kind of opening up some things for me. Looking forward to busting it out at a show, but I need to polish it a little more.
Yep.
And trying to work on maybe some pedal action too, some effects pedals.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, about just like thickening the sound a little bit, giving things a little bit more palette.
Exactly, and you know, playing with Steven, I liked, we have a nice blend, and I like to be heard, and that might be the way to go on some of the songs.
Absolutely. Now, actually, the song that brought us into the show was Can You Put It in a Rock? And quite honestly, I mean, I've done a couple recordings with you guys, things like that, and I love that song. Tell us a little bit about that one, how it came about.
It was one of the early songs with the Centers. Basically, after a breakup with a girl, you know, sometimes you write a lot of music, and so I wrote one about that. It's about going to a bar and trying to drink your blues away, in other words. And
more than act frequently in the life of a musician. Absolutely. Now, you were mentioning a new guitar a while ago. Speaking of new things, Steve has actually stepped over to the drums now in this project, which is interesting. Previously, you played keyboards, and did some other vocal work and stuff. How have you been enjoying the drums? How have you been liking that?
I like doing the drums. I'm real familiar with his songs, so I think that I help to keep it all in perspective to what he's writing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you guys have worked together for a while in other projects as well as this, right?
It helps for the dynamics and stuff like that. I think that if everybody's on the same page, and the more familiar everybody is with the material, and trying to work together to make it, take what we got and make it as good as we can do it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We were even talking outside about the idea of focus and being able to, I mean, you know, you guys play a 40-minute set, but if need be, y'all could play an additional 20, 25 minutes beyond that easily with the number of songs that y'all have.
To be honest, when Rusty started getting this project going, I actually would sit in on the drums a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's an important instrument to get in there at the beginning. I've done that with several different projects, and well, it might be tempting to throw on the bass and play along, but I think that rhythm is very important.
Well,
and
getting the foundation.
Even if you've just got the two people and one's on drums and one's playing their songs, I think it really helps to get everything structured.
Absolutely.
Because establishing that structure is real important to a song. And
well, you definitely have to decide where it's going, what it's doing, and you know how it's gonna walk on stage. You know, and without the drums in there, it's kind of tough. Like I personally, you know, much like Rusty, have written a lot of acoustic stuff, and the stuff I have played with people live, whenever there's been a drummer, it can throw you off if you're not used to that.
I guess your goal is to try to make everything feel natural, and when you come to a part, it should feel like you're coming to that part. And
yeah, exactly.
Like when you're playing along with the radio.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you sing along with the radio, you think you know the song, and then they stop it, and all of a sudden you can't remember the lyrics.
Well, and that's honestly what I love about the dynamic of the two of you on stage is, I guess, like I said, y'all have played together previously in other projects, things like that, and known each other for years. So it really does help to kind of create a good foundation to build things on. And I mean, even Nelson, I know, has played with y'all for a while.
You have to get along with the people that you're playing with.
Absolutely. I mean, even as a sound guy, you know, whenever bands would invite me, I always wanted to go to a few rehearsals first, because like if we couldn't jive together and just hang out, you know, after rehearsal and stuff like that, you know, it is a family situation, very, very much so. It's and you know, it's funny in towns like this. And in Portland, Maine, where I started my business, it's not just a family situation, but it's an incestuous family situation. Like, bands commingle into other bands and become side projects and all kinds of stuff. And it's just such a common occurrence. It's interesting to be here in Austin now, a town that, quite honestly, I was like, for a long time, I really didn't want to move to Austin. That was one of those things of like, man, once you move to Austin, that's like one of those decisions in life, like, I live in Austin. You know? It really is. It's one of those heavy decisions. That's like, if you're moving to L.A., it's one thing, like, oh, I'm going to move to San Bernardino. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, I'm going to move to L.A. Oh, dude, he's totally moving to L.A., man. You know, like, it's a totally different perspective. You're moving to Austin, you know.
I know what you mean.
Like, there's a little bit of statement in life, like, especially whenever you're in the industry we're in. Like, you're obviously moving to Austin, you know, not to go work at a grocery store and, you know, like, drive a city bus. You're probably moving there to, you know, make your bones doing rock and roll or making money with music, something like that. So, it's, you know, it's...
But don't move here.
But don't visit. Don't move here, though.
That is the popular phrase.
We've run out of room.
Come for the festivals, then go home. But no, I mean, literally, it has become such over the last. I mean, I do a lot of work with people in film and things like that in town, and even just the opportunities that have come about in the last 5 or 6 years with this city and what it does artistically. Like, the industry eye has really turned this way in a lot of ways.
Sure. Film's really been getting big in Austin.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a little bit of a stymie, but it's mainly because things have gotten to the point now where it's like it's really about permitting. You know, just like this last year, South by Southwest, just they didn't put out as many permits for shows as they have the last few years. You know, like infrastructure has gotten so big with that it's harder and harder to get them out there, and it's sad because some of the artistic end kind of fades off because of that. You know, I've said it outside numerous times. I remember when South by was one of those things of if you had an outlet and like 2 feet of sidewalk, like you had music that day, dude. You know,
Nice.
you didn't need permits. People just set up out on the sidewalk and played.
Oh man.
And you know granted they've gone corporate, and it's a beautiful thing for them. They get to take advantage of a lot of other aspects of a festival. But at the same time, there's a lot of the smaller stuff that used to happen that doesn't get to happen anymore because of that.
I missed that.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see, where are you from originally, Stephen? Are you an Austinite or?
No, well, I like to say I am, but if you want to get right down to it, I was born in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So outskirts of Austin.
Yeah. Outskirts, yeah.
Austin's Katy.
A
Yeah.
suburb.
It's a
The way it's
suburb.
going now these days, it's a suburb.
Absolutely. And what brought you to Austin? Was it work? Or?
Well, that was a long time ago. I was quite young. It was really not my decision. I was just moving with the family. I was still quite in school. I was in high school and going to high school. And moved up here, went to Hayes in Kyle Buda area there. And migrated, I guess, or, came to Austin for work at that point. And then, I picked up guitar when I was in high school. And then, I never knew what it was going to become. I didn't really know, Austin being, what it was. And it just all seemed to work out, and I kind of fell into that,
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, and it's the heart and soul,
Absolutely. And what was your first instrument, actually, Steve?
My first instrument. Probably the guitar. I remember my dad showing me the chords on an old guitar.
Okay.
I was probably about 7 or 8. And right around the same time, I started taking piano lessons. Could have been piano first. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But at a young age, I was always fascinated by music, and when I did start taking piano lessons, I really got into it.
Yeah,
And,
because most of the time you're actually a bassist. Is that right?
that's my main instrument.
Okay. And what
Kind of gravitated towards that. A lot of musicians start off as guitar players.
Yeah.
And a lot of people end up frustrated guitar players playing something else. And
Yeah.
at first I felt like I was forced into the bass, but then I realized that I had a proclivity for it and actually enjoyed it. And
He's got rhythm.
so you got to take lemons and make
Well, yeah,
Lemon-
absolutely. I mean,
lemonade.
when I started
Lemonade, bass lemonade in your face.
when I actually started playing bass, it was basically a point of necessity. I'd come back from a semester in Rome and
I actually
wanted to learn music, and my friends all had guitars, and it was like, well, seems like someone's gonna need a bass at some point or something.
I actually heard a good joke today. Is how many basses does it take to screw in a light bulb?
What's a light
It
bulb?
doesn't take any, because the keyboard can do it with his left hand.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's a good one.
Oh, man. Well, what's coming up next? Do you guys have any shows coming up
We're
presently?
soliciting shows. We've got some we haven't firmed up yet for the summer months, June, July, and beyond.
Really been focusing on this recording.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right
And-
there.
Yeah.
Really has.
It's nice that we can get some shows without having a demo, but
Right.
we really want to get this demo going.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess it will be a demo for all practical purposes, but if it's a good demo, yeah, maybe we can get it out to some people.
Well, most definitely. I mean, you always
Expand
go
it a
in
little.
with the concept of something greater and use it utilitarian wise until other things happen. Most definitely. I
That
mean,
is
that's
correct.
that's
Sure,
what I've
sure.
always advised everyone to do. Is go in with as much written and ready to go as possible, and go in and focus on about 5 songs, and just keep it solid on 5. You know, think of it like an EP, but at the very worst, you're coming out with 5 songs of, you know, hopefully different enough category within your oeuvre to be able to offer things to clubs and say, hey, yeah, we can fit this kind of show, we can fit this kind as well.
Sure.
That's right.
And now your last show, actually, where we were showing the footage from, where was that at again?
It was at the Black Heart on Rainy Street
Okay,
in Austin.
fantastic. And it seemed like it was fairly well attended.
It was
Yeah.
a fun show.
I think
Yeah,
if I
it was.
recall right, that was the weekend of Eeyore's birthday party.
It was.
It was.
It was the weekend of Eeyore's birthday.
Uh-huh.
For those that are unfamiliar here in Austin, we actually reverence Eeyore, the beautiful character from the Winnie the Pooh comics, and reverence his birthday here in Austin with a huge festival that happens I guess it's not necessarily a festival so much as like a citywide drum circle type
That's
action.
exactly right.
That's
You
what
know,
it is.
I mean,
It's,
really,
I
that's
think
what
it
it is. It's a bunch of
It's all about the
people.
drum circle.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about the
I mean,
drum
it's just
circle.
this huge drum circle with a bunch of people hanging out, and it's pretty wild. It's an event, and it's one of those things that is uniquely Austin.
Got to do it at least once.
You got to do it once, especially you know once
Rite
I
of
find out
passage.
people move here. You know, it's like, oh, what do we have to look out for? You know, there's you know South by Southwest and ACL, and I'm like, yeah, those are cool if you got a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time. Because, you know, really to properly do South by, you got to have a good 2-3 days of work in a row off.
Eeyore's is definitely more of the local flavor.
It is.
South by is more of a show we're putting on, and
Yeah. I would definitely say that. That's definitely true. Eeyore's is like a huge backyard party.
that's how
It really
is.
is. It's
all
like a
the
huge
time.
neighborhood party. It's great. You know,
I know enough people in Austin that I've been in their backyard.
Yeah.
It gets that crazy. It really does.
Yeah.
Putting it.
Those are.
Now, as far as shows go, do y'all like playing shows like that, or do you prefer the club venue scene? Like, you know, I know we've talked before about the
We
intimacy of smaller venues
We
and
like
things
playing
like
in front
that.
of people. I mean,
Yeah.
it's good. I mean, you have to
I
work
don't
with.
think I have a preference.
You have to work
No,
with
I-
the.
Whatever, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we kind of open
Mhm.
whatever's offers, private, backyard, outhouses, whorehouses,
Yeah.
front of the house, back
Okay.
of the house, you know.
On the side, on top of the house.
The Blackheart is
Top of the
nice
house.
because it has a built-in crowd,
It does.
which it's nice to play in front of a place, and it's nice if they have confidence in you to entertain their built-in crowd. To me, that's a lot more of a statement than getting a gig at a place that apparently nobody goes to, and
Yeah,
they're
unless
counting
you're
on the
bringing
band
them.
to bring in the people.
Yeah.
Unless you're
And-
bringing them, yeah.
So there's something a little more special about bringing people to a place like that, because you're like, hey,
Yeah.
we actually brought some people to this club.
Yeah.
Well, and it's I mean, to
And-
me, like, my band used to perform at the Frontier Bar over on the east side of town. I understand
we had
they're
a show there.
I understand they're under new management now.
The West Well now,
I think
yeah.
is that what it
Yeah.
is now?
Lost
And-
well, yeah.
And, you know, it was just a
They have a lot
great
of good
little
shows.
place, man. And I brought people there, and they're like, dude, what is this all about? This is a great place. It's like, yeah, I love playing little neighborhood nooks, crannies, you know, places like Samstown Point here in town, you know, where we've all played. It's just a great little neighborhood spot where everybody goes, frequents, and I've brought people to Samstown Point whenever they're like, oh, yeah, you know, let's go out and have a drink in Austin. And I'm like, all right. And I take them way out there to Samstown.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
where the heck are we going, man?
Yeah, where are we going?
And they're just like, what is this place? This is awesome. This is great. Because it's just this little spot out in the middle of a neighborhood.
It's like the opposite of the Blackheart. You know, they both have their
Yep.
charm.
Yeah, they
And
both
it's a
have their
different
very
thing.
distinctive vibe to them. You know, and that's really what I love about a lot of the smaller bars here in Austin. Like, one of my favorite places is the Elephant Room.
Mhm.
Just to go in and sit and have a drink and enjoy music. I mean, it's great. There's always good music happening, you know. They'll charge a cover here and there, but most of the time it's, hey, walk on
We
in.
were talking
enjoy some
about
really
that
great
bar
music.
this afternoon.
Yeah.
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 And
I actually seen a girlfriend of mine, you know, whatever. She's kind of like the manager over there, and been seeing her for a little while.
she's your girlfriend now.
Well, I don't know.
If there
if
was
I-
any doubt before, Steven, you just made it official.
She was
dude.
his girlfriend until now.
You go that way, yeah.
Girlfriend. I don't know how I can cover any of
So
this.
I have
Yeah,
to.
you might as
So
well
I have to
You might as well.
start digging in an angle,
told
bro.
So if we can, we're
I
going to
told her
make
I
it
would
into
mention her name
a
on
2
here.
CD demo.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's how it goes down here. Like I said, unabridged, unadulterated. We don't edit a lot, so that will be there. But so
totally
when
love it.
are y'all looking at hitting the studio?
This weekend.
Fantastic.
This
These are the
weekend.
first sessions coming up this weekend.
That's it.
Yes.
We
Keeping
had
our fingers crossed. We
yeah.
won't break any fingers or.
Right? Don't try to grab anything with them crossed.
Trying to keep focused.
I need those.
That's
and,
right.
A couple of these.
So, how many hours are y'all booked for this weekend?
2 days.
2 days.
2
Awesome.
days.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, hopefully y'all can get some fantastic work done in that time. I know y'all are looking toward getting like electronic press kits, all that kind of stuff together for a full-on launch of everything, and I'm so very excited for you guys as not only a host but as friends as well here in the Austin Music Rooms community, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank
you, Chris.
Anytime,
Really
guys.
appreciate
Anytime.
you
We want y'all to
all
come
your
back.
help and everything,
Oh.
and all the work you do around here, and
Absolutely.
it's just a great part of the life here, and we're glad to have you, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you
know?
so much. And, please, everybody that's looking for a rehearsal space in town, stop on by and check it out. Austin Music Rooms online. We've shown their website and things like that before. These guys will have the website up and rocking very soon. All kinds of fun updates and tracks and good stuff and goodies. And while you're online, please, everybody, please stop on by and check us out. www.talkingsoundpodcast.com.
Check it out.
Hey.
That redirects you to our main website, www.talkingsoundshow.com. We've recently bought both of them to make sure that we could be easily found. And you can also find there, along with all of the technical episodes like what we just did, and all of the musical guests like these guys, you can find some great technical articles from major distributors and manufacturers, Shure, Neve Audio, M Audio, all kinds of people. And in addition to that, our Patreon page. That is where you can give to the cause, donate for gear, regular expenses, things like that to keep the podcast up and running. Until next time, everybody, these are the Centers of Attention. I am Christopher Jordan, your host. Take care and keep reaching for 11. We'll talk to you soon.
This is Talking Sound.